which just goes to show you that tech happens. I'm just going to tell my husband who I yelled at to, I'm good, thank you. Tech happens, everybody. Hello, nice to see you. It's Lorna, it's 3:03. I will not run you over the time. And that's a perfect example of c'est la vie. We're in 2022. Some of us still haven't got it. Some of us get it some days, and it just happens. I am delighted to be with you today and to also see some friends and probably see Ashley laughing if I could see her screen about my cockiness. It's really nice to have you all here, and also that it's a really sunny day outside and it's 3:04 and you're still here. And most excitingly, I think you actually have Beth Beatty after me, who I adore. She's one of my most favorite human beings. So stick around for me only because you'll see Beth after me. So by now, a lot of you will have used Caselines, but not all of you. So I thought I'd give you a mini tour, but also more importantly, show you some kind of tips and tricks that I picked up over the last little bit. They're a little more advanced. I don't want to scare you, but we're going to get into a couple more exciting things with Caselines. So we'll do kind of like a little practical tour, but then I'm going to give you some exciting little tips that may or may not make you rockstar Caselines users. And I know that by now, most of you will have had it rolled out to your different regions, although God bless this great province. We don't have it for all things in all regions. So in some areas we have it for motions, some areas we have it for conferences, some areas we don't have it unless the staff manage to get out a link. So it's a bit of a hit and miss, but I think after today you'll feel a little more comfortable. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me a second. From here on in, you should actually see some tech prowess. Okay, not that I could use my headset, God forbid. Okay, so you should be seeing my Caseline screen, and I will have, maybe I'll see Doug right there so he can give me a nod if anything goes bad. Okay, good. Okay, so I actually am such a geek that the Superior Court gave me a test case. So I am in Caselines right now, and you're not seeing all my cases, you're seeing the test case, which is really excitingly titled FS placeholder. Like we couldn't find like a family law name for it or even like a civil name. It's the excitement of FS placeholder. So I wanted to show you the easiest way to kind of get in to your case and then to navigate around and do a couple more basic things, and then I'm going to show you the fancy stuff. So whenever I'm in my home screen and I've got my list of cases, I actually click update case instead of review evidence. That is not intuitive, right? Like you kind of would be like, oh, I'll click on review because maybe you actually don't want to update it. But update case is the place to go. It gets you to kind of your case home screen. So I'm going to click on update case and give, oh good, my Toronto internet's not bad. So now you're in your case home, which is kind of the place like, you know, ET phone home. This is where you want to get back to each time if you get a little jumbled. So don't worry, you'll get back here. So the thing that I kind of like to tell people first is to go to the index. If you click on the index button, which is right along that bar at the top, you will see the index and you can see all the documents that are uploaded. The cool part, there's a couple really cool parts about this. The first part is anywhere you see a gray, you can click. So this is the motions bundle, but if you click on the gray select bundle, you get a little drop-down menu. Again, like why they couldn't give you a drop-down menu more obviously, don't ask. But now you can look for the gray. And then if you click on the motion, you'll see case conference, you'll see trial, orders and endorsements. You may see lots of other bundles depending on your practice area and your region, but this is just the bundle choice they gave me. So really good to know, right? Like if you see gray, you can click on it, nothing bad will happen. The other thing that's really good to know here is that you can see some numbering. So unhelpfully about Caselines, there are two numbers. There's a master set of numbers and there's a current set of numbers. I like to work from the master. And one of the challenges is if you're in the index, you're only seeing the current numbering. So when you're preparing for a motion, like I was this morning when I was in Central West, I was in my index for my motion and I saw all my numbers and I was writing them down. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the judge to use master. And so this is not so helpful. But just FYI, you're seeing the current numbering here. And it's kind of like calling bingo. You can say to the judge, I'm going to take you to my factum, Your Honor, which which will be at A15, right? Like it's really like a bingo situation. So you'll always see applicants' documents first, and this is family law words, but you may have real lawyer words, as I always say. So you may say plaintiff and defendant, or crown and accused, whatever it is. And they'll be in order, the same order for everything, except for if you're not a family lawyer, you won't see Office of the Children's Lawyer. So the index is a really cool place to be, just so you can kind of get the lay of the land and see what's in each section. And if I go to my trial section, for example, I'm guessing I don't have anything there, but let me have a look. Yeah, I don't have anything there. But the cool thing is at least I can move back and forth between my two sections. Okay, the next thing that I really like about navigating around Caselines, I'm going to go up a little bit, is my bundles. So here I've got my motion bundle, right? Like we all know I'm there. But let's say my internet is not so hot, right, in some areas of the province, and I don't want to have Caselines open while I'm preparing, or even count on Caselines being open and my internet being good enough while I'm arguing my motion or at my appearance. And instead, I want to download a bundle. So all of the material that will be in the section that the judge will have with the great numbering on it. Well, I like to do it this way. Some people have other ways, but this is my good trick way. I go over here and I look around here and I click on bundles. And I give myself a minute. And then I've got a download option beside each of the bundles. So I'm going to stay with my motion bundle and click on download. And it gives me a couple options. You can download just the index. Don't mess with any of the ticky boxes over there. You don't need to. So I'm not going to show you things you don't need to know. You can download your complete bundle, which I'll show you in a second, download just your index, or you can download different sections. Like who on earth would know what A1 to A41 is? All I can tell you is A is for applicant, and there's the B1 to 41, but 14, but again, it's not intuitive. So if I click on just to show you one thing, click on download bundle index. It's going to pop up because I'm in Microsoft Edge at the top here, and I can show you the Adobe document. Again, because Caselines wants you to have some heart palpitations, the first page of this is always blank. Like I always think, oh my God, what did I mess up? Turns out I didn't mess up anything. They just make you scroll down to the second page. Really, it's not good for lawyers preparing for a motion, right? Like you don't want to have that worry. So here's your index. And the cool thing to know about this is even if you don't want to download your entire bundle, just as a bit of a cheat sheet while you're preparing for your appearance or during your appearance, I always like downloading the index because it tells me exactly where a document is, the date, and where I can find it. So I can really quickly say to a judge who says, where am I going to find that response to motion to change? Oh, that's at B3, Your Honor, because I've got it right here sitting on my screen. Or if you're kind of old school, you printed it out. So I really like the index as something that's helpful for any bundle to print out. And I do that at the last minute because you may have moved things around, which I'm going to show you, or you may upload kind of to the day before. This is a great thing to pull off the night before or the morning of. And if you're a keen Microsoft Edge user, you will know that you can just click on this little save button and you can save that PDF right to your desktop. So if I then move, just a second. Oh, I'm moving things all over the place. I'm going to then go back to the bundles section. Oh, and sorry, the really cool thing is, it's hard for me to show you because my screen is, there we go. I've got my Zoom thing at the top. I was right here, right? It's really cool because it opens up a new tab at the top when I do that create index thing. So you don't even have to remember where to go back to because you can just click on this tab, right? You're already there. Now I want to download the entire bundle. Here's why this I think may work for some of you. If I click on download bundle, give it a second, there we go, it's not big. The really cool thing about this, again, it's that heart attack feeling of the first page where you're so worried that you've done something wrong. You have not. Go to the second page because I don't know, they just want to make you crazy. This has the Caselines numbering on it. So every single page will have that Caselines numbering. And if you've been kind of familiar with using Caselines in the last year or so, you know that it's really important to use this numbering when you're making your submissions or helping a judge get somewhere. So you can have this on your desktop, not worry about being in your browser or stumbling through, and you'll have every single page stamped with the Caselines numbering. So this is really a favorite of mine. So for those of you that are kind of keeping track, We looked to see what was going on in our index. That was the first thing we went to. And then we went to bundles is the next thing. And that's where we found the index. And it's also where we found the bundle with the Caselines numbering stamped on it. So two, I think, really helpful things. The other thing that I like, because if you're nosy like me, you kind of want to know who your judge is. I click on people, and you'll see when you get into people, mine doesn't have that many, but it's oddly some court staff because of the way they set it up. Yours, when you go into any individual case, will have quite a lot of people in it. If you press Control F, and those of you that are really good keyboarders or love Word will know Control F is fine. It works the same way in a browser on Caselines. And you type in the word judge, and I don't have one assigned to this case, and press enter. It'll take you right to the name of the judge. So it's a really cool way of finding out who you're before, because for me in Toronto, at least, we're not case managed for Superior Court family. And so it's a new and horrifying experience every time when I log in to see who I'm before. And instead I can go in the night before and go into Caselines and search judge in people. And at least I know the excitement I'm going to get for the next day. Okay, the next place that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go a little bit slower as we get here because it's maybe like something that you've been used to delegating to your amazing team, but I want to give you some confidence that you can do it. So you're the day before, no, you're the day that things are, you've already filed your material and you need to upload on Caselines, and your amazing assistant is gone for summer break and you are on your own. I'm going to empower you that you can do this. So we're going to click on sections. Okay, so far we've hit review. Sorry, we've hit index, we've hit bundles. Now we're going to go to sections. Click on sections. Give it a second, it's working away. Okay, this is the place you're going to do your uploading. So if you're kind of making notes as we're going along or typing notes if you're techie, sections is where you go to upload. This is the big ticket item. So the cool thing with this is, again, what do we already know from our index tab? If there's something that's gray, you can click on it and go to a different place. So if you actually wanted to upload instead to the case conference section, you can click on case conference without having to go back out and in, and it'll move you to the case conference section. And if you were happy being in the motion section, which I was, you can click on motions and it'll get you right there. Okay, so I have to decide who I am. That's the next step. So I'm in my sections, I'm in my right bundle, I'm feeling like excited, my hands are not too sweaty. Decide who you are. Are you the applicant or the respondent? And again, for the civil folks, you know who you are, plaintiff or defendant. So I'm going to pretend that I'm the respondent for this. So I'm going to look over at respondent. I'm going to move my mouse over to this side. I have a few choices. The only thing I want to do right now is to upload a file. I think it's kind of intuitive. It's the only thing they've done, which is actually correctly worded, right? Upload file. I think that's something you'll remember, but just remember it's kind of on the far side. So click on upload file. And we'll give our Caselines a second. So again, because Caselines does assume that you might not be like a super genius as a lawyer, they give you an option to kind of fix this again. Remember, we've got our gray here. If you weren't supposed to be in your motion and you were supposed to be somewhere else, you can also change it here. But I'm okay. I'm in my motion and I'm in the right place. So here's what you're going to do. I'm not going to show you the bookmark thing yet. I'm just going to do a simple upload. If you scroll down here on my browser, so you see, there's two ways of uploading a file. Really easy, everyone. You can do this. And I'm just going to use whatever one that I have for training purposes. You can click and drag. So if you have something on your desktop or in your folder system in your computer, you can click on it, bring it over to Caselines, and drop it. So click, move, drop. And there you've got your document that you're going to upload. You haven't finished your work yet. Sometimes I get excited and I've done my click and drag, and then I'm like, why isn't it there? Well, it's not there because I haven't actually hit the upload. So after you've clicked and dragged it, you're going to click on Start Upload. It'll check for viruses, and then it'll be done. How do you know it's done? Because it says 100%. There's no other exciting way. Like they could have like thrown you a bone and instead of this little check mark, given you some big green one. But instead you just have to kind of know that you've been a rock star. So if you're not a clicker and a dragger, you can also click Add Files. So if you click Add Files, that'll bring you out to a file structure where you can go ahead and pick the name of the file. So if I go into my Caselines one and I've got sample documents and I've got exhibit B, there we go. So I've chosen exhibit B and I think I've done a great job, but wait, I haven't clicked start upload. Ta-da. And it's got 100% and it's looking good. Okay, so I don't trust that this has worked. I need to triple check. All good. I always click, instead of view section documents, which I think is really awkward, I click on update all documents. And I do that for a couple of reasons, but just trust me that update all documents is better. So you've clicked and dragged, or you clicked add files and chosen your file. You've done start upload, and then you're going to update all documents. So click on update all documents. Give it a second. And there you go. It brings you to the screen where all the respondents' documents are in this bundle, and all the documents are there. So the interesting thing about Caselines is if you use the proper file naming protocol that now actually I think both courts use, the OCJ and the SCJ, it'll pull things automatically. Like it'll pull the document date and put it over there, and it'll put things in the right order. If you don't have a date on your document or you haven't used your proper naming protocol, it's so easy to fix. So I'm taking a breath to say, you can do this. You can change anything you want on this screen. Do not let Caselines be the boss of you. You be the boss of Caselines on the screen. So here's how we're going to do it. Exhibit A. Let's say I wanted to call that something else. Do you see what I did? I just clicked there. I clicked. Click. I made it totally fixable. So exhibit A, I'm going to call that for family law, husband's 2021 income tax return. And let's say it was filed on April 30th, 2022. Ta-da, I've just changed it. If Beyonce knows, those of you that are Jay-Z and Beyonce fans, if the date on her response to motion to change was not really June 18th, I could click there and I could change it. So even though it kind of looks like you can't change it because this kind of looks gray, see number 3, it kind of looks gray, click there like a boss and you can change it. Like it's not obvious, but you got to be in charge of Caselines, like be the boss of it, and it will give back to you in the best way. So let's say you've done something by accident, which is the story of my life, much like my headset drama, and you've uploaded exhibit B to a section that you really didn't mean to, or it was like your visa statement, your personal visa statement that you were clicking away and uploading and you didn't mean to. No problem, you can click remove. So I'm going to exhibit B, and I'm going to click remove. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to remove this document? Which is a fair question. I'm going to click yes. And then it says, if this will actually remove your document, are you sure you want to proceed? The answer is yes. And then give it a second to process the heart attack there. Ta-da, exhibit B is gone. So they used to have it so that you could actually do that to everyone's documents, which if you were dealing sometimes with a self-represented litigant was a bit of a challenge. And you had a bit of a heart palpitation moment the morning of an event and logged into Caselines and didn't see your documents. They've changed that. So you can't remove anyone else's documents, just yours, which I guess takes some of the fun out of it, but I think it's probably more fair. The other thing to know in this screen, which I think is really helpful, is you can reorder the documents. So my big thing is, and I think because I'm still kind of stuck in that before times thinking, and the civil lawyers will understand this, and the family lawyers to a certain extent too, you kind of want the notice of motion as number 1, you want the affidavit as number 2, like there's an order in your head where you want things, because that's how the motion record or the continuing record looks. And Caselines actually uploads, the order of things is in the order of upload. So if you happen to have uploaded a factum first, that goes first. And so that doesn't really work for me sometimes. So I'm going to show you how to renumber and move things. So for example, if I wanted my exhibit A to be number 1, and my notice of motion to be number 2, and my affidavit to be number 3 is fine. I'm going to need my response to be 4, and I'm going to show you how to go back in and check that this is going to work, but it's going to be really helpful. So let's go back to our index and cross our fingers that my numbering worked. Yep, oh gosh, how rude. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's there. So Exhibit A is now number 1, notice of motion is number 2, affidavit number 3, and response to motion to change is number 4. I reordered them. And you can do that too. You can just be incredibly artistic and go crazy on your reordering. Let's go back in so I can show you something. So I'm going to my sections, which is always what you want to go to when you want to upload or mess with your documents. And then before I clicked on upload file, now I just want to update all documents, which is what I clicked before when I was uploading. Okay, the other thing that I really like doing, oh, I know, I loved this. I had a trial in Toronto a few weeks ago, and in the trial documents bundle, I always wanted a couple things at the very top. I wanted my opening trial statement at the very top, and I wanted my draft order at the very top, because I wanted it to be easy for the judge to see and to find. So I figured out this trick, and now I'm telling everyone. Just name things, or the document number should be 0000. So let's pretend like this is the opening, sorry with my typing, opening, oh my God, it's been such a day. Opening trial statement. And let's say this is the draft order. Draft order. And we will keep these numbers as 1 and 2. Okay. Case lines don't fail me now. I'm going to go to my index to check this. And scroll down to my respondents docket. There you go. Draft orders number are at the top and opening trial statements at the top. Like, kind of cool, right? Like, kind of cool when you figure out these little things, because that way you can always see them first. And if it's something you really want a very tired and grumpy judge to see, it's not a bad idea to throw that sucker at the top. And you can do as many 000 as you want. All good, all easy. So I'm a huge fan, if you can't tell already by my ridiculous excitement about this thing. So click on sections again, and I'm just going to show you something else while we're in there. I'm going to go back to the upload file to explain something to you. So click on upload file. Okay, so here's the sad thing about Caselines. You've been taught for the last 2 and a bit years how to bookmark like a boss. You've been bookmarking your exhibits, you've been bookmarking all sorts of things, and you're feeling so proud of yourself about bookmarking. Caselines wrecks your bookmarks. So as soon as you upload, Caselines takes all the bookmarks out. It's one of those things, it just does it. I'm really sorry. They've tried to deal with it. They can't deal with it. It's what happens. So judges are still telling you to bookmark, and you should, because it's really good in theory, but on Caselines, it's just, they're going to take them out. And so one of the things that is helpful though sometimes is if you have a document like a brief of authorities that you've done in a bit of an old school way, right, where you have it bookmarked and you've got tab A, is this case tab B, you upload that as a not an upload file, but upload bookmark PDF into a single section. So what that does is it takes your case brief, which may be 10 cases long, you bookmarked very properly. And instead of having to upload each case separately, you just click on that button, it'll pull them apart based on the bookmarks. So it'll list them as tab A, tab B, tab C, tab whatever. I'm not going to show you because it literally is just a one click. I find it helpful for things like trial records. So often to file the trial record, we have to have it all in one bookmarked PDF to file it through Justice Submissions Online. And then it's a pain in the bum separating it. But if we bookmarked it carefully, all we do is click on upload bookmark PDF in single sections, such an awkward thing. And it automatically takes your tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, plunks them all into your trial document section as separate tabs. So just a kind of reminder for those of you that are keen on bookmarking and don't want to have your dreams crushed. Okay, so let's go back to the main menu, which is the case home. And I'm going to show you a couple more things. The first one is a navigation tool, which I'm now obsessed with. So I'm going to go into review. So I've already done index, I've done sections, I've done people, I've done bundles. I'm going to tell you, you can ignore the rest of it because you just don't need it for the most part. So let's stay eyes on the prize. Click on review. This will get me into my, slowly but surely, into my documents. So on the left-hand side, again, family law, applicant, respondent, civil, other things. Where it's a bold, you can click on it and it'll expand the menu. So sometimes, again, like you could tell I have major anxiety issues. I don't see things and I think, oh my God, they're missing or I messed up. Don't be like me. Click on respondents documents and ta-dam, you'll get a nice drop down with all of the documents. So you can do this to close it up or open it up. So let's say you want to find something in a document or you want to take a judge somewhere really quickly, or someone says, I'm going to turn to page A20 of my factum, and you're like, like you're scrolling and your mouse slips and it's just making you crazy. Don't worry about this. In this review screen that you're seeing, there's another little toolbar, and one of them is home, one of them is find, view, present, blah, blah, blah. Click on find, which actually is intuitive for some exciting reason. You can actually find a page really quickly. So keep this open all the time because I think it's great. Click on find page. And you'll see it's defaulted to master, right? There's a tick mark there. If you don't get to where you want to go, it's because there's no tick mark beside master. So make sure you put the tick mark beside master. It should be defaulted, don't worry. And then just put an A20 and hit enter. Ta-da, it takes you right to A20. It just so happens the current and master are both A20, but that never happens. So it's a really great and quick way of moving around. So if someone says really quickly, I'm on page B5, Your Honor, you can be like, oh, and hit B5 and it'll take you right to B5. It's a very helpful thing to know in the middle of a panicky experience like a motion or a trial. You do not have to scroll around, which I find so awkward. You literally can just go up here and hit your B5. Again, such a bingo thing. The other thing that I really like about this menu, the find menu in Caselines, is the search case. So if someone says something exciting like, oh, her budget, you can tell I'm a family lawyer, her budget includes, $300 a month for vacations. That's outrageous. You can, instead of having to search around for where the vacations reference is, you can type in vacation. I don't know if I've done this right. Maybe it's holiday. Oh, let me see if it's vacation. I'm going to click search. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so what it does is it pulls up every instance of vacation in all of the documents that you've uploaded, which is so exciting. So it's pulled an factum, it's pulled up the word vacation, it's given you kind of a short summary here, but in the gray part, it's told you exactly where it is. The factum, H. Herald, June 18, 2021, page 5. So click that. And you should find somewhere on this exciting page the word vacation. There we go. Summer schedule, 2 weeks vacation for each parent. So that's a really good, right? Like if you're panicking about like, where did I talk about that? You should be able to find it. If I click here and put in alcohol. Oh, I thought I had a budget here. Let me see. I click here and put in teacher. You can tell I'm a family lawyer. What else did I put in? Let's see. Well, let's do Beyonce. That's easy. So I'm typing in Beyonce. There we go. Beyonce is all over the place in this one. So it's telling me right now there's a few instances. One is the response to motion to change. The next is the motion to change. And it tells you where it is on each of these documents. And then again, all you got to do, for example, is to click on it. And it takes you right there. Okay. So you're going to see Beyonce's name right there. So again, I think really helpful, not super advanced, really like will make you sweat less. The other thing that I really like doing is sometimes taking people to a certain page. So if I have a really cool chart, or if there's, let's just say there's a case on my, I don't know, it's like not a great example, but let me just figure out some wildly unexciting part of my factum. So let us say that there is a super pithy quote somewhere in my factum, which is not going to happen for the usual part. And I want to take everyone there. So everyone who's on Caselines in my case, I want to take them there. Here's what I do. So I have not moved from the find menu, friends. I'm still in the find menu and we're just navigating around. So it's really cool, actually. All you got to do is click direct others to page and it'll say, do you really want to direct everyone to page A32? And you're going to say, yes, I do. And it will take everyone who's on Caselines in that case right to page A32 so they can see your exciting quote. I think this is super useful for a chart that you have that you want everyone to see. I think it's useful sometimes for, remember those days of you have an income tax return and they're never numbered and you want to take someone to a schedule and you're like, it's just about 4 pages from the beginning of the end, Your Honor. And everyone's trying to flip to the 4 pages from the beginning to the end. Instead, go to the place you want to be and then click direct others to page and you will get right there. So that I think is a really cool one. So all you have to remember is be the place where you want to be. So let's say you want to be, how tremendously unexciting is this form? There we go. You really want to take people here. Go to the place that you want to be, click on direct others to page and click OK. And everyone is going to go to page A5. And they can move around after that. So you're not controlling their screen. You're just bringing them somewhere and then they can go ahead and not be there. The other thing that I like just while I'm in this section, and then I'm going to show you a cool hyperlinking thing, is the present menu. So I'm up here on my screen that goes with my review documents. I'm going to click on present. And what this is a option. If you want to do take the judge or whoever it is that you're, obviously it's going to be a judge, the judge on the other side during an appearance, a conference, a trial, a motion, instead of doing your share screen on Zoom, use the present function. So I've seen this used really effectively where my very bad client was questioned and decided to lie at his questioning. And then we had a motion. And then the other side was like, oh, look, Your Honor, at the motion, let's take you through Mr. So-and-so's giant lies so you can see them all in giant real time. And like, as you're kind of heaving and crawling under your desk, they use the presentation feature instead of the Zoom share. And I'm telling you, it was great because you don't have to clog up your Zoom, right? Like if you use the Zoom screen share, it takes up your entire screen. Someone else is kind of the boss of you. You have to minimize it, then get back to your notes. It's a pain. Just use the present feature. So you click on start presentation. And if you click on start presentation, you will see now that everything has a red thing around it, a red border. And that means everyone is moving with you wherever you go. So you can scroll up and down. You are controlling their screen. Okay, so this is actually controlling their screen. The start presentation is controlling their screen. So you are seeing this on your screen and you are controlling the judge's screen and the other side screen, but not the whole Zoom screen, just the Caseline screen, which is why it is so cool. So you can scroll up and down, move, be like, look at those giant lies. You can move over to this. And again, anywhere that you have red, you are in control of the screen. You can pause it if you don't want to be doing it anymore for a minute, and then you can stop it. Really not that hard, right? Start presentation, scroll away to your heart's content and click away. Pause presentation if you want to pause it, or stop presentation. Ta-da. So that is, my friends, the very basics, except for a very exciting hyperlink thing I'm going to show you. So I'm going to close this. Notice how it popped up. Sorry, let me just do that again. When I clicked on review, just like the good thing about Caselines, it opens up a different tab at the top, right? So you don't have to panic about getting back to like your home, ET phone home. Just close the tab at the top or just click on the other tab, right? Like you're not clicking back, you're not wondering, just close. Okay, so here's the thing, hyperlinking. I really want to show you, hyperlinking works beautifully in Caselines if you already have things hyperlinked, but more importantly, I'm going to show you how to hyperlink from Caselines for your factum. So I'm just going to show you quickly what a hyperlink, just give you some confidence that hyperlinks work. And I'm going to go back into my factum, factum, and you will notice when it speeds up and gets to my factum that I actually have, the way I've set up my factum is actually hyperlinked because I'm a bit of a loser. So I can click on this, and I did this in Word, so I'm not going to show you that, but it's super exciting. So I put in hyperlinks here to Canley, a case on Canley and a paragraph. If I click on paragraph 11, this is how I set up my factum in Word, and then I saved it to Adobe, and then I uploaded to Caselines. I click on paragraph 11. If this works, it's going to take me to Canley, whoop, whoop, to paragraph 11. So if you've done it properly in Word or PDF, it will not wreck it when you upload it to Caselines. So I'm giving you some good vibes about that. It will not wreck it. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to make a really cool factum with a bit of Caselines hyperlinking. So let's get into a document. Let's get into, who cares what document it is? I'm just going to show you. Okay, we're going to get into, so I'm going to view my motion to change. View my motion to change. And I am going to find where I want to be in my motion to change. Let's say I want to hyperlink to page, what do you care really? I'm just like literally showing this to you. I'm going to hyperlink to page 4 of my motion to change, because that is something super exciting for my factum. Really bad example, but work with me on this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on copy link. Now here's where Caselines is a bit annoying. Like you're thinking, I've done the work of clicking on copy link. Surely I can click on OK. No, the answer is no. They want you to do one more thing. And I spent hours on this one day before my assistant was like, genius, read the instructions. So it actually says copy to clipboard, Control C and enter. Okay, so like I didn't read that. So press Control C and you copied the link. And now if I stop sharing and I go into a Word document that you're going to pretend is my factum, just give me a second, team. Here is my citation or reference. Okay, I'm going to share this screen with you. Okay, I'm doing my factum. I'm super excited. Don't tell me that you can't see this because my screen's huge. So I know that the Word documents look small. Just work with me. Here's where I want to link to page 4 of my motion to change. All I do, and if you're a hyperlink genius, you're going to already know this. I double click on the word that I want to link. So if this is the, if I've typed in, let's see, part C of the motion to change, I can literally click and drag part C of the motion to change. I right click and I choose link. And then I don't have to do anything. Like it's very exciting. My mouse is already in the right place. And I paste. And there you go. I pasted. And then, so exciting. And then if you clicked on this, the hyperlink, it would take you right into page 4 of your motion to change on Caselines. Like it's beyond almost exciting. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to, actually, maybe I'll open up a factum just a second. I'm actually going to open up a factum so I can show you. Once you do this, you're going to be like, why didn't I do this the whole time? Or you're going to say, Lauren, I didn't remember anything you told me. And then you're welcome to email or phone me. Okay, so let's say, okay, let's say, okay, here we go. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm drafting my factum. And I want to reference, we'll pretend that I copied the reference to the financial statement on Caselines. Like I found the financial statement and I click copy link. So I'm going to highlight financial statement of WND and I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose link and I'm going to dump, I'm going to paste. So Control V, or you could just right click and choose paste and click OK. And then it hyperlinks right back to Caselines. So if you're the judge and you are thinking, gosh, I really don't know what way to go on this, but I'm going to decide the person with the best hyperlinking wins. Think like that. Like this is going to be the sell to your advocacy. I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to go back one last time into Caselines because I think I've otherwise exhausted you. Just give me a second. Where am I showing my Caselines? I've hidden it. Just a second. Where are you? There you go. Caselines. Just a minute. Caselines. Share screen. Caselines. Good. So just reminding you with your clever hyperlinks, it literally was just a, sometimes my mouse decides that it's exhausted from my talking and it stops working for a second. And then I have to turn the Bluetooth on and off and then it gives it a break. There we go. It literally was the copy, go where you want to go, right? So let's say you wanted to link to page 2 of this document that we're in. And you click copy link. You don't do what Lorna did the first time and click OK. You look at the instructions and it says copy, Control C. Ignore the enter part, it's stupid. Control C, and then you click OK, and then you can link like a crazy person. Okay, I am going to stop my share. It's 3:42. I wasn't checking the chat. Is there anyone with anything to say? And have I exhausted you all completely?
I think there was a question in the chat, Lorna.
Okay, let me have a peek. Can you do what you just said, the reordering? But yes, you can do the reordering, but it's going to mess with the pagination, which is why you do not want to necessarily do your prep until the night before or morning of if you're going to mess with the documents, because it will mess with the pagination. It's also why in my factums, I don't necessarily list the case signs numbering, because the factum are due a few days before and the number can get a little wonky. It's why I hyperlink, if anything, but that's a really good question. It will mess with the pagination.
Lorna, can I ask a follow-up to that? It's sort of related, but because I'm just sort of confused as to what's maybe going on in the back end. But in a trial, I was trying to upload documents in real time.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bamboozle the other side, right? And Caselines kind of takes away from that. And they weren't available to the other parties. Like it just, I could download them, but the other side couldn't. And it seemed like there was a big delay of almost 3 or 4 hours before the other parties could actually access the documents. And
I think
was that a one-off, or is
yeah,
that?
I think that's a one-of, because I know that I've been in a motion, uploaded a bill of costs, only when I'm sure I'm going to like succeed at the end. Otherwise, I want to hide that sucker. And I upload it, and the judge sees it immediately, and so does the other side. So I think that was a one-of, because it's actually fairly immediate. And what you'll notice if you're in a trial, the registrar will stamp a document as an exhibit that's in the trial documents section. It'll automatically copy over to the exhibit section as soon as she stamps it. So I think that might have been a one-of. Peter, I'm sorry that happened.
That's interesting what you just said, because in my court, the clerks aren't doing that.
Because they're not, I've been chatting with Mag about this. They need to do updated training for the registrars and clerks. It was a while ago. They don't know how to do it sometimes, and they know that they need to go back and do a round of retraining. But it is because I had a trial recently, and also the clerk forgot how to do it, and I had to tell her how to do it, which probably was not the best thing going. So it's just a training issue. They know it, and they're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks. I think we're at time. So if there are any other questions, Lorna, I know you are an online person. People can find you, and we appreciate this. Your presentation actually I've sat through Caselines training 2 or 3 times now. It put me in mind of, I saw this Peanuts cartoon a week ago where Linus turned around in the classroom and said to Marcy, "No one is going to give you the education you need to overthrow them." Well, this was the best training I've seen so far. So thank you so much, Lorna. I think we all took away a lot from that. And thanks for helping us pull back the curtain on this diabolical new thing.